Hey, how's it going, everyone? So today's video, something I've been wanting to show and share with you guys is over the last probably about 5 years now, I've been painting, I've been drawing, and I just wanted to kind of share of some of my paintings that I've done in the last 5 years with you guys. I'm not a professional painter. I just love doing things that I can express myself, especially with things that has to require your hands to kind of do the work. Anyway, let me show you some of my earlier abstract art pieces. I'm not sure what this is. Sorry, I did this in 2018. Yeah, I don't know. Here we go. This is another piece I did. Once again, I was just messing around with, first layering a color and then adding a color on top of it. And, and then I saw the purple, and then I just kind of drew in a face with a knife. And I just thought, oh, it kind of looks interesting, I guess. I don't know. Maybe you guys could tell me what it looks like or what it resembles. I'm not sure, but I think it resembles something of myself in my reflection of who I am. But I don't know. Maybe it's something deeper than that. I don't know. But yeah. Oh yeah. Here's another one. I call this one It's Showtime. It just looks like a party for some reason. I don't know what it was. There was so much like color. It reminds me of a circus. It reminds me of a party. I don't know why. You see red, purple, yellow. I don't know. It reminded me of a circus for some reason. This one I used one of these foam painting brushes, and I was just dabbing on each of the colors, just coming up with what I could mix, I guess, with a little that little foam brush. It would just smear it and smudge it, All right, so here we go. This is a different one. This is a fluid acrylic pour. It's kind of like it resembles more of like when you go inside a tropical island or something. There's so much green everywhere you look, you're surrounded by it, But this one I started messing around with the fluid acrylic pours, the ones where you pour liquid into a cup and you mix all the colors together, and you can add water-based glue, or you can add silicone, and it starts to make these different shapes and all that. But it depends on how you pour the acrylic canvas itself. So this is what I came up with, and I just saw it, and I just loved the way it looked. It looks so smooth, and the surface of it, I don't know why it spoke to me. Here's another fluid acrylic pour. I didn't have a name for I think I named this one like a number. It was like TKT 044 or something like that. I just didn't know what to call it. I'm not sure what it looks like. Just some dabs of different colors. It almost looks like space or something. I'm not sure. Here's another one. I really like the color combination on this one. A lot of blue, tan, and yeah, I just love the designs that you get in the acrylic pours. They just make up their own texture. Like you don't know what you're gonna make out of the acrylic pours, and that's what I love about it. It's just like you can create whatever you want. You can just see whatever you're feeling based on just by moving it a different direction. All right, next one here's another fluid acrylic. I titled this one Pink Noise. If you could hear a color, I feel like this was what it would look like, based on the color. It just looks very loud, but yeah, they look like flames, they almost look like looks like it's falling or something, You don't know where it's gonna go, and you don't know where to start from. But that's why I really love some of these acrylic paintings. This one's one of my favorites. I think I titled this one What Am I? And this painting, when I see it, it's like pulling me to this, this abyss or something. I'm not sure, but I really like this one. I'm not sure what it reminds me of, but yeah. So now we're going to get into some of the other paintings that I did. And I always used the same size. There are a couple of canvases that I started to want to experiment with bigger canvases, but some of these other canvases I started using the same size, and I just felt like it's a 16 by 18, and I just started, always sticking with this size. Like pretty much most of all my canvases that I started working with. Some of these, I just can't even tell you what I did because I didn't even know what I was doing. They're just these expressions and feelings that I would get this urge to paint, and then I don't know what just happened. So here's another one I called the herniated spine. Interesting. It just, for some reason, when I started doing this, it just looked like like I was making like a spine of something, and these little slash marks of paint, and that's what I started coming up with. It just, I don't know, it looked like a spine. So this one is pretty much all mixed up. All right, once again, this is already colors on top of other colors, and then I'm pretty much giving this sort of a whipping kind of motion with the paint, just throwing on whatever. And that's what's fun about painting. There's no right or wrong answer. You can do whatever you feel you need to express. Oh yeah, this one's kind of old. Already has a scratch mark. This is pretty much like a smooth surface one. I just was blending it with the brushes and the canvases that I started out with. I didn't even understand like even brush technique. I didn't understand what's the right tools to use when creating a painting. I just didn't get it yet. I was still doing all the, moving it around just to see where it takes me. I don't know, This one, here we go. This one kind of reminds me of knights, like medieval knights. Like it reminded me of like a little war, like the white and black knights all fighting together. And this is what it would look like. But yeah, there's another one. Pretty much just random colors. I put all different types of colors on, and then just using the brush to kind of just mix it and see what I get, This one I used a different tool. I used a sort of like that rolling, there's like a rolling tool that I used. And then I was using it to like, mix the colors all together with this. It looks like it almost looks like I don't know how you would say. Anyway, this one I think I used my hand, like my fist sort of, and I was kind of just dabbing it with my hands, and it reminded me of Hawaii or something. It just reminded me something in the tropics. I don't know why. Just the colors of the green and the yellow, and then the blue and the red. I don't know what it was. It just reminded me of like Hawaii or something. Here's another one of my favorite fluid acrylics. What's crazy is that I remember when I would paint canvases, like your hands are bound to get dirty. So I remember one time I got the canvas, and then I started smushing it. I started getting the edges of the canvas and going like that with the paint, and then I just made my own border with the color with my hands, and I was like, I actually like the way that came out. Looks pretty interesting. I don't know. But yeah, again, you can see all the different mixtures of the colors. Yep, here we go. Another fluid acrylic. More fluid acrylic paintings. All right, so now we're going to get into some of the paintings that I did started, hand painting. What's crazy is like when I first started painting with hands, I just didn't understand how to like make everything look like it's popping out, but blending is off, everything is off, the value's off, everything. But then I kept practicing, and then, I started, I felt like I could kind of understand something, but I had to go back a little bit further. I had to do simpler paintings, and yeah, this is pretty much kind of what I was starting out with. Two different colors like night and day, shadow colors like black. I didn't really incorporate color as much still. It's just very basic, but this was quite the challenge for when I first started. Like I thought this was like really difficult. There was no form into which direction to go or anything like that. Oh yeah, here's a couple of other more fluid acrylic pours. This one I really love. This one I called On Fire. It just looked like flame of fire. It reminded me of like Maleficent. It reminded me of like something from Disney. I don't know why. The flame of the, just the colors and stuff. This one I actually used the masking tape, and then I would paint over it and then take off the tape, and then it would leave it sort of like standing out even more with the tape effect. So you could do multiple things. You could add a color over here, a color over here, a color over there, and then just mix it up, This one I like it just looked like a smushed heart. Like if your heart got smushed, this is what it would look like. This one I just used multiple colors. I was pushing the paint down. I was kind of being aggressive with this one. I was going like this with the paint, making sure it drips, down in one motion, and that's what I was trying to go for. And I just really love this one. Yeah, once again, it looks like flame. It looks like fire, but like with different colors, and I just love the blend of this one. It's one of my favorite paintings. It kind of just happened in the moment. And another one as well. And then I using my hand to make the border as well with the color, and then that's what I came up with. And all right, so back to some of my drawing paintings that I did. This one was like woman. It was a rainbow color of hair. I wasn't good at painting like faces or people yet. I just there's so much inconsistency in this painting though when I look at it now. Once again, yeah, just very early stages, trying to figure out how to perfect that technique. I started using the tools, the ones that look sort of like knives, and those very thin tools. Yeah, this painting I'm trying to do something simple, trying to do something like buildings and, just mix the colors and just, see what happens, Once again, these paintings I tried to copy from other YouTubers as well, because that was the only way I was trying to learn how to teach myself, watching other people paint and trying to replicate it. Here we go. This is sort of like an easier one that I did. And actually this was a little bit easier for me in what I was trying to get to. And then I started doing other things, that are a little bit sort of, it still looks a little inconsistent. There's a lot of like detail that I just didn't know how to do yet. Another favorite of mine, I love this one, Godzilla vs. Kong. First I would draw on the canvas and then take out the paintings and then try and, pretty much trace over it with paint. So yeah, this one, here we go, Batman Beyond and Spider-Man 2099. This was a favorite of mine. I saw this one online. I saw this one like on a actual like digital art, and I was like, man, I want to make that into a painting. This looks fun. It's all right. It's okay. So now this is already like maybe my second year painting, and now I'm starting to get in the rhythm of how to paint on a canvas and how to use the techniques properly, and how to transfer from drawing to painting. And I'm still even then here, there's still a lot of mistakes. There's still a lot of not realistic ways of, I guess, in the correct ways of painting. I don't know. It's subjective. I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. I just work here. Yeah. And then here we go. One of my favorites, Optimus Prime. The colors in the back are not as good. They're not as consistent, but the sharpness of the acrylic paint is what I love about it. That's why I don't paint oil. Like, I am not worthy to paint oil, like, at least not yet. But acrylic, it's so easy because if you make a mistake, it'll dry and then you can paint over it again. It's just so simple. It's easy. Did the Joker. I started getting into like, the portraits and medium like pictures, Yeah, the Joker, the Mandalorian. Nothing special for the background, but I just wanted to try and get, the whole body, try to get it look consistent, at least somewhat in the body, in the face, at least in the detail here. The Batman, just, yeah, same again with the body, trying to keep it at a medium height. Yeah. The latest one I did, I've seen this one online, and I just wanted to kind of do it for myself, a replicated of the Lord of the Rings. I think it was like a movie poster of Lord of the Rings, and I just saw it and I was like, you know what, I want to make that into a painting. But yeah, those paintings I pretty much are the ones I've done currently. Those are the ones I've done now. So this is one of my paintings I did personally on myself. I had to do this for school, and this one was a little bit more challenging because you want to make yourself look thinner. You want to make yourself look, like a certain way, and there's still a lot of things I didn't do exact. Like the eyes really popped out, and then my ears were a little bit too small, and my hand was not right. I was trying to hold drumsticks kind of like this, on my chest. Now I'm going to get into the next big transition that I started doing, abstract acrylic paintings to actual landscape paintings, which are from the Bob Ross paintings. Pretty much my obsession for the Bob Ross landscape paintings, and this was a whole other side of painting that I wanted to start experimenting with, and started watching the Bob Ross videos. They were so amazing and inspiring, and I just really wanted to try and see if I can at least try to attempt to replicate a landscape. So pretty much, yeah, this is kind of what I first started out with, the learning how he does the crisscross strokes with the sky and the blending, with the clouds, and that I still have trouble with cloud circles, the way he does it. Even with the mountains, how to, perfectly make it very gently, Here's another one. Yeah, I started getting the hang of it, sort of. The Bob Ross paintings I've been painting now for almost about 2.5 years now. I've been painting them, trying to get it as close as I can. I use acrylic still. I don't use the oil like he does because I'm not I'm not even close to that level. But once again, I just love painting them because they give me so much joy. Here we go. It just visually they just look amazing. Like when you look at it from the outside perspective, you can just see so much, there's so much detail, and I think that's what Bob Ross taught me, is how to do detail. It fascinated me, the fact that he can do so much in 20 minutes, so much detail in a nature landscape painting. Like, it's just mind-blowing when you watch him paint. Yeah, there you go. Still trying to somewhat understand how to get everything into place, different colors. I think this one I actually used oil. I like the way it looks, but it's still not right. It's still not even close to what he gets exactly, I guess. Yeah, look, see, those mountains are terrible. I wasn't doing them right. I wasn't getting consistency in his technique. Just still trying to get close to it is what I can. Again, yeah. See, I like some of the clouds the way it came out, and then I don't like it. It's good, but I like the way the clouds came out in this one. The landscape too as well. Sort of like how he does, rocks with land and how to blend it. And this one was really fun to do. These paintings are all on his Bob Ross, show, which you can find them on YouTube. But yeah, these are some of the ones I've been trying to replicate. I like the clouds, I like the landscape, I like the hills, I like these trees, I just like the way I started, it was very difficult at first, and then I feel like now I can do it, Alright, so my final part for these canvases, I just wanted to show you guys some of my bigger canvases that I started with. These are not too big. These are sort of ones that I just, I started messing around with, bigger canvases, and I like the way some of these turned out, This one reminds me of like being in like space or something. It just looks like, I don't know, like all different kinds of colors and planets, and I just see the galaxy in this. I don't know why. This one's one of my favorites. This one right here. Another fluid acrylic pour. Just did one side this way, another side this way with a different color, and just, making a border with my hands, and yeah, just seeing what happens. My last one is this one right here. This is a big one. I'm not sure what size this is. This has to be maybe like a 45. I don't know. Yeah, this was a big one. Another fluid acrylic pour. Just turning it around, messing with it, and yeah, this is what I got. Anyway, yeah, there you guys have it. That's pretty much all my art canvas collection. Probably, I think I have in total about 90 canvases. I've got rid of like maybe about 100 canvases of, other paintings that I sold. They're just so hard to let go, but they're also at the same time, it shows me a great reminder of what greatness is, and it gives me that feeling of having the freedom of creativity. Anyway, yeah, just wanted to share that with you guys, so I'll catch you guys next time.